Hi guys, Hamish here again from the Guitar Factory School. Just for the sake of thoroughness, I'd like to talk about the CAGED system for dominant chords. We've looked at the major chords, we've looked at the minor chords for the CAGED system. C, A, G, E, D, CAGED, and they're derived off the open position C, A, G, E and D shapes, and they become the fundamental frameworks for chords all over the fretboard. Okay, so with the C shape that we had before, now if you're not up to speed, I really suggest that you have a look at the other videos for these, but we're just looking at specifically the dominant chords this time. So here's a C shape E major chord. So what we do is just replace, we just think basically a C7 sort of shape. So if you know your C7 in the open position, it's just moved up to say fret 7 to create a C shape E7. So I'll talk you through that. Your third finger is on fret 7, E string. Your second finger is on fret 6, D string. Your pinky is on fret 7, G string. Your first finger is on fret 5, B string. And we play the middle 4 strings for that. So that's a totally movable shape. Very, very handy sort of shape to know actually. So that's the C part of it. The A part of it, very simple. It's just derived off an open position A chord. So it's just basically a bar chord. So say that's a D7, as you would know as an A string bar chord, but that would be like an A shape D7 or a shape E7. Okay, a G7. Right, there's a few different ways. So if we move it down to the bottom part of the pattern here of a G shape, right, you could play it perhaps like this, where you've got your third finger on, we're talking C here for the root note, so that's fret 8 on the bottom E string, second finger on fret 7 on the A string, pinky on fret 8 on the D string, first finger on fret 5 on the G string. So that could be considered a G shape C7. That's one way of doing it. Now perhaps a more common way is to look at the top part of that overall G fragment there, okay, which would be that kind of thing for a major. But what we're going to do is we're going to think like that. So we have first finger on fret 5 on the D string and aspiring across fret 5 on the G string and aspiring across fret 5 on the B string. Then our first finger goes from where the root note was on fret 8 on the top E string down to fret 7, and that could be construed as being a G shape C7 as well. Right, now the E shape 7th chords are really simple. It's just a A7 derived straight off your open position E7. The last one would be the dominant chord of the D, so the D shape. Now the D shape was that, you might recall. So what we're going to do here is think first finger on fret 5 on the D string. This makes it a G chord, G7 this time. Third finger on fret 7 on the G string. Second finger on fret 6 on the B string, and pinky on fret 7 on the top E string, and that gives you so-called D shape G7. So that hopefully clears up the mystery behind the CAGED chord system, how we can use the open position C, A, G, E, D chords to become movable frameworks, and we can manipulate them and tweak them to become minor chords or dominant chords as well.